Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Wow, very interesting reading for you today. I'm going to read about the Knights Templar. And I'm using the Medieval Feathers Tarot because, well, that's about when they were around. The Knights Templar. I don't think they need much of an introduction. They wore the Maltese cross on their chest. Apparently, they were the first bankers. They were knights. They apparently went to Jerusalem to save the Middle East, and they were portrayed as Christians. And some say, and they were the King of France executed them, and because they were got too rich and too powerful. Some say they still are around as the bankers in Switzerland. Some say they are the Knights of Malta, Knights, etc., etc., etc. I don't want to put too much into the cards about what I think they are. I want to ask the cards to please expose what are the Knights Templar. Were they good guys? Were they bad guys? Depends who you talk to will, say they were good. Other people will say they were bad. They were the protectors of the Holy Land, and some say no, they were the usurpers of the Holy Land. They were the first bankers, and they have a bit of a reputation, and they became very wealthy, very powerful. And they say the reasons that the King of France executed them is because the King of France needed their money. Whether that was true or not, who knows? Stories are written by the victor. So some say they are still around under different guises, like the Knights of Malta. Let's find out. Let's ask the cards. What can you tell us about the Knights Templar? Okay. 10 of Swords, exhaustion. Maybe they were. 10 of Swords, well, that's ruin. That's ruin, but that's in reverse. So it's exhaustion. So I'm wondering if after their ruin, right? 10 of Swords upright is like, that is ruin. But in reverse, all those swords can fall out. You can pick yourself up, dust yourself off. So I think this is talking about the after the execution. No, I have to pardon me. This is actually upright. So this is ruin. This is ruin. Sorry. I just noticed that the number is at top because I thought, why? This is in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Risks. Yes, this actually tells me that they were ruined. They absolutely, their time had come. Page of Cups, shyness. Now I'm wondering if this tells us that they did go into hiding. There were survivors. This tells me there were survivors. Oh, wow. The King of Coins in reverse. Consideration. Okay, so this story is true. The King of France wanted the money. The King of France was broke. The King of France with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. King of France here is broke. I think there was some kind of new beginning. Page of Cups can be surprise announcements, surprise beginnings, innocence. Let's see, what's this? 4 of Coins in reverse, attention. You know what? The king did get their money. The king did get the money. He didn't get as much as he thought he would. They did release the money to the king, but it wasn't as much as he thought it was. We have this upright here, this Page of Cups upright. I think a few of them got away. Actually, probably got away with the rest of the money. Look at the king looking at this money going, I thought there would be much more. I thought there'd be much more. His attention was on this money. That's all he wanted was the money. And if they would have just handed him this little bit of money, they wouldn't have been executed. They were definitely there. They became, this is true, they became too powerful. This is the execution. But I think some did escape. 9 of Wands in reverse, setbacks. Yeah, it was a setback, but it wasn't the end of them. They were embattled, but they knew it wasn't the end either. This wasn't the end. No, so this is right. Some did get away. The king did not get them all. And I think that's why he only got, I'm thinking like 40% of the money. I think a few of them, they had a setback. They lost their leader. They lost a lot of them. But I think a few of them got away. 8 of coins grounding. Yeah, for sure. For sure they did. They got away and got right back to work. Yeah, they did. Judgment in reverse, persistence. So double X. Isn't that interesting? We have XX and now we have a double X. Persistence, the judgment in reverse. Now, I always call judgment in reverse no more chances. And I'm thinking that this judgment in reverse on top of the king, as one of them were dying I think they were burnt at the stake, he said, "You will be dead within a year." And the king was. The king was dead within a year. Persistence. I think this is them going into hiding. I'm pretty sure they went into hiding. The thing is if you have a skill, somebody can take all your money, but as long as they can't take that skill away from you, as long as you have that skill, you can find that money again. But if you have no skills and all you have is money, when somebody takes your money away, you're broke, right? Like, for example, I always say that salespeople should never be broke because they have a skill of sales. And if you have a great skill of sales, you can do practically any sales job in the world. So if one industry shuts down, you just move on to the next one. And if you're good, you'll always be able to make money in sales. So they had a skill set, whether that was the banking, whether that was the brotherhood, whether that was, just their cavalier part of it. They had some kind of skill that they mastered, that they relied on because they had this setback, but they just had persistence to keep going. These cards are so beautiful. I love the edging on these cards. Self-discipline, 3 of Wands in reverse. They didn't know what they were going to do, but they knew they were still around. The 2 of Cups in reverse, mistrust. You know what? I think part of the things, they didn't know who to trust after that. They honestly didn't know. The self-discipline and the mistrust. There may have been people within the Templars that gave up, like where the leader was, or maybe people didn't stand up for them. If you always say, "Oh, I got your back, all for one and one for all." And then you find out as you're burning on the stake, that's not true. And other people are seeing this. There was definitely a lot of mistrust in it. Plus, if they had to go secret, and you'd think they were just blown apart. If they had hidden money, and I think they did. I think the king only got 40% of what they actually had. I think they had money hidden all over Europe. They didn't know who to trust. They really didn't. It really hurt their brotherhood. That's what I want to say. Wow, 5 of Cups, connections. This is interesting because when I read cards that already have words on them, I go by what the words are because those intentions were put into the cards. So 5 of Cups to me is not being able to let go of the past, right? In this one, this says intentions. So if I were to read this as not being let go of the past, I would be honoring what the intention was in what the creator was putting into this card. So this tells me, though, I'm going to combine both of my knowledge, Five of Cups being refusing to let go of the past. This intentions here with the self-discipline and the mistrust. I think this one kind of blends these two together, because this is a 3 and this is a 2, and this is a 3 and this is a 2. So I think that this Five of Cup connections, I think some of them were unable to let go of the past, and some of them wanted to look forward to the future and reconnect. And I think it took a lot. And I think this may be maybe why we see splinters. Like, they didn't come back as a Knight Templar. Maybe some came back as Rosicrucians, some came back as Knights of Malta, some came back as, some other esoteric group. And I think that's what this connection is. I wonder if they splintered into 5 groups so that they would never be concentrated again to lose everything. So I think I'm wondering, because it says connections, I'm wondering if there's 5 groups that are connected that they broke into afterwards. What's the underlying? Temperance, reconciliation. Oh my God, yeah. It's absolutely for sure they went underground. What's interesting is Temperance is the Sagittarius card. So this tells me that these are they scattered throughout the world, because the Sagittarius is foreign. It's also part of the universities. It's part of legal. It's part of law. This is also telling me that they also splintered into some of our bigger institutions in the world of knowledge, of law, foreign relations, that kind of thing. So these 5 groups splintered and then became something else. And I think that's the reconciliation here. 2 of Coins, choice. 2 of Coins, choice. Oh, the Magician in reverse, conceited. I wonder if they had to hide some of their magic, right? Because they were the Magi's. They were the occultists. They were the esoteric part. And I think here, so what they had to balance was being out in the world and hiding some of their magic, using it in a way that the public didn't understand, with the 2 of Coins here in the middle, choice. So they had to choose between, right, being conceited or, and saying, no, our way is the only right way, or putting it out in the world and spreading the knowledge, again, spreading so it's not so concentrated that it would be more difficult to take them down, because they'd have to take down all 5 of these. They'd have to take down all these big institutions. And I think that's where some of this mistrust might have come from. Maybe they couldn't see that the way forward was to split up, but keep the core of it together. So your, like I said, your Rosicrucians, your Knights of Malta, all, just different ones, the Royal Society, for example, etc. So now we have the lovers romance. Now, I think that romance, that's also choice. But you know what I'm really getting here? Because we have choice here and choice here. I think that they came to a healthy agreement with society, that they chose not to show their magical powers, which is really just they were aware of metaphysics of the world, the way the world works. And I think they decided to be more presentable to the public, so the public wouldn't even consider that they were a secret society or what they were actually putting out there. And I can see there is some conceit in that. Like, we call them the mystery schools. Like, I have my mystery school, but these real ancient mystery schools, they actually did have a bit of an ego and were conceited and thought they were a little bit better than the peasants because they knew these secrets and whatnot. And I think they had to convince the public. Number one, they had to convince the public that they weren't these awful Templars. This is a whole new group. We're all new people. We just happen to have all this knowledge. Page of Wands, creativity. Yeah, I think that's Ace of Swords mentality. There we go. That's their biggest part. They're the Hermetics. They are, this is the Ace of Swords. This is them. This is them. This is them showing me that. Look at this. We have the Griffin here. And I think that this mentality is, they are the ones behind the thoughts or things, and thoughts become things, and the subconscious and the conscious, and the Hermetics, and they are behind all of that. The Rosicrucians, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And like I've taught before, the Lord's Prayer is the best manifestation prayer you could ever do. If you haven't seen that, that's on my other channel, and maybe I'll put a link for it down below. It's in my manifestation playlist about using the Lord's Prayer as a manifestation prayer. So this mentality, I think that a lot of that we have has come from the Templars. I think that they are still around. I think they are the bankers. Interestingly, I was looking for King of Pentacles or Ace of Pentacles, more to do with money. I think a lot of, they were more interested in spreading this knowledge they want to keep some of it hidden though. Trust me, they want to keep some of it hidden. But to be more, looking more temperate. Isn't that an interesting word? Because we have temperance, Templars, and be more creative in the way that they are out and about in the world. And I just said out and about, and I bet everyone picked up on my Canadian accent. But Ace of Swords mentality, that's all I need to know. That is them. And there's even a cross in this sword. This is the Griffin. This is knowledge that is ancient, that goes round and round and round. The next card wants to show itself, so I'm going to show it. Oh, justice, balance. Of course. So the king might have executed them all, but the king got his. He died within a year. Oh, and there was something else too, a curse. You and or this will be the end of your family. And the king died, and then the king's son died. It was like it, and so the curse came absolutely true. Justice. Interestingly, justice has been served, balance. So they lost their hold on power, but they scattered around the earth. I do not think that they are. People say they're the bankers.